Hey guys, what's going on? It's Adam, and today we're going to be talking about a bunch of changes that are, I guess, being planned by Respawn to come to Titanfall. For those of you who don't know, this weekend was PAX East, which is a pretty huge gaming conference. I'd say really the PAX series of conferences are just kind of right behind what E3 is. Although E3 really just kind of seems to, I don't know, it's not as impressive every year. But anyways, that's another commentary for another day. But I want to talk about the news from the Titanfall press conference. They actually kind of announced a lot of things. It was interesting to see because some of the developers who were there didn't really know what they could and couldn't talk about. But Vince Zampella, the head of the studio, was very, very open and almost kind of pushed them to talk about things they didn't think they were ready to talk about. So it's very interesting. The big first announcement, of course, is that they officially do have the first DLC for Titanfall coming. It's a map pack, 3 maps called Expedition. It's going to be arriving May of this year, and the 3 maps are going to be a few different things. So there's one that's going to be a swamp. There's one that's going to be like a training area. And things like that. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how these play out. But this is just maps. It looks like the steps that they're taking for this approach is going to be maps will only be part of paid DLC, and everything else will be free. And that's really an interesting concept. So with that, there's a few things they also talked about adding. Now, the big thing that people have been requesting, aside from private matches, which we finally got, is customization. People want to customize their Titans, and so they did announce that they are looking into the possibility and are planning on releasing some customization for Titans, which I think is really good idea. And when you look at the way kind of militaries have always treated their equipment, whether it's planes, tanks, things like that, there's always almost some level of customization to it. People add little pin-up girls or things like that to really make it their own, and I think that's a really interesting concept. I think it can be done really well in Titanfall. So customization, it looks like, is coming to Titanfall for your Titans. There's a couple of other things that were announced, though, that were really interesting, too. One of those things is a 2v2 Last Titan Standing mode that they kind of announced as a future game mode. This is also going to be part of that free DLC. And also with that, which, by the way, that sounds really interesting to me, 2v2 Last Titan Standing sounds like it could be really team dependent, so I'm interested in that. But burn cards for Titans are coming, so I would imagine what that means is like, it's not necessarily like getting an extra Titan, but like an amped version of the chain gun or an amped version of the 40mm cannon, which I don't understand why you'd ever need that, but there's that. And so that's pretty interesting concept. Now, along with the kind of new game modes, they have kind of this plan to add twists to current game modes and basically demo those out and see how the community reacts. If it's better, it could replace the current game mode. So an example they gave of that was Pilot Hunter and Attrition mode. Attrition, anything you kill counts towards your total team score. So anything you touch, kill, or counts towards that. With Pilot Hunter, it's only pilots. So what they thought of was, well, what if there was an in-between that counted pilots and Titans towards the total score? And so it's things like that they're going to tweak the modes. They're going to see how they perform. And if people seem to prefer these new modes over the old modes, they could end up replacing them, which I think is a really smart, good way to do it and really involve the community, because everybody knows, like, Call of Duty, every once in a while they'll introduce game modes that nobody asked for or wanted, and so it's kind of like that. I'm interested to see what they kind of do from that standpoint. Couple other things that they're adding. One of the things that I'm honestly most excited about is going to be a spectator mode / free cam mode. Now, what I really hope this is more like a theater mode option from Black Ops 2. The theater mode in Black Ops 2 allowed me to create some really cool things, and I'll put an annotation here if you guys want to see an example of that, since you know I've got a lot of new subs lately. But I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the cinematic kind of movements and things like that I can do. So I really hope it's something more akin to that. But what it sounds like it might be is just some sort of spectator free cam mode for private matches, which I mean, there's still things I can do, but it's not the same of having a recorded gameplay and being able to go back and just edit every part of that. I feel like that's the kind of freedom that I'd prefer, but we'll see what they can come up with. So far, everything they've released has been really good, really interesting. And then finally, it looks like Respawn is going to be doing something kind of brand new and unique to matchmaking. They're calling it a hashtag matchmaking system, and essentially what you can do is you can say that you want to team up with only people who use a following hashtag to find games. And that's going to be, like, for example, I could put hashtag Warpath2, and anybody who uses that hashtag to find games can be matched up with me on a team. So that way, it's people who are interested in playing with me, and people who I may not know and I may want to end up playing with. Or if there's a big community event and somebody like, I don't know, I can't think of any giant Titanfall gamers, but let's say T. Martin, which I hope not, but let's say T. Martin wanted to do a big community play together thing, and he did hashtag T. Martin. Then everybody else who used that hashtag would be matched up with other players. So if you're a fan of an individual, or if you're a fan of a personality, or even like a particular play style or things like that, you can play with people who have that shared interest and meet new people. And I think that's a really revolutionary concept. I don't know how well that's going to be implemented on consoles. I think for PC it's a no-brainer. We'll kind of have to see what they do there, but I like that. I really do think that's a good idea. So that's really it for the updates, guys. Titanfall, I mean, it looks like Respawn is adding a lot of things here. The only thing I wish they would do is just kind of tweak that matchmaking again a little bit. It's a little bit off for me lately. Seem to always get matched up against giant teams, which I don't mind fighting tooth and nail to get a win or do whatever I want to do. But sometimes it's really lopsided, like really lopsided. But anyways, aside from that, I still love the game. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I've got a new video coming tomorrow for Titans on how do I Titanfall, which I'm going to be working a lot on tonight. Also tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Central, 6:30 Mountain Time, and 5:30 Pacific, I'm going to be on a podcast of my friends called Cat Melogian. This is my buddy Scanner Barkley. He's one of the first people I met when I started doing YouTube. And it's a group of us who've all been on podcasts together and stuff like that. So that'll be tonight. That's Sunday, April 13th. And I'll put a link to his Twitch because that's how they do it. So if you want to come interact with me, hang out in the chat because that's what I'll be doing while I'm on the podcast. You guys should check it out. But I'll put a link right here. I think it's twitch.tv/ScannerBarkley. But I'll put a link there in the video. And really, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy all the news. Let me know if there's anything you wish they'd add that they haven't yet, or anything that you wish they'd take out, because I feel like that could be an interesting conversation, too. Once again, guys, my name is Adam, and you guys take it easy.
All units, be advised. We are mission complete. Nice work. Be advised.